Welcome. Welcome back. How is everyone? I will do a reading from my zenalchemist.wordpress, and then maybe we'll turn it to a Q&A because I haven't been doing live shows. I don't know how many people will show up. So if not many people show up, I might just continue on reading or separate the shows by different readings that I do out of this. But I don't know. I think I should be able to get through at least two or three before, because I think one reading will be 5 minutes or so. So we'll do that. We'll see what happens. So let us begin here. I'm not gonna waste 5 minutes of time like I normally do. I'm just gonna get right into it. See if anybody's here. What up, Sin Corona? Oh, there are a few people here. Cool, cool. Well, then we'll see what happens. Here's the reading I'm gonna do, and I'll let you know. It's from my October 2013 post. I didn't know if I should do them in order. That's not my style. I'm just gonna go all over my blog, my WordPress, and we'll read out of there that way. So this is on. Oh well, thank you for the panties. Should I put them around my neck? Should I wear them? Should I wear them like over my head? Yeah. Appreciate it. Um, anybody else up in here? Let's say hello, I guess, before I start this. If anybody else is in here, how is the audio? And how is? Thank you, I appreciate it. Should I wear them? Do you want me to just wear? I'll take my pants off right now. I'll put the panties on, and I'll do the show panties on beneath the camera. And maybe as we develop this relationship a little further, there'll be a point in time where I'll just do the show full on panties, dancing around, singing. What's up, Carson? What's up, Jake? Okay, so a few people did show up, so we'll see how this works out. Um, Again, October 2013, and the post is titled, "What up, Winston's?" The post is titled "Lucidity, Deeper Insights, Frequency, Cognition, Exploration, and Involution." Let me get a sip of this beer. It's ginger beer. It's not actually beer, but ginger beer, like real beer, is excellent. This is quite spicy. Okay, where are we at here? What's up, Nono? A1 steak sauce. I used to put that on my steak as a kid, man, because it was always a overcooked, burnt ass piece of steak. That will help that steak, but a good steak, no, don't even dare put that shit on there. All right, here we go. Lucidity is essential. Lucidity is essentially the comprehension, remembrance, and possible application of conscious awareness in a span of time. A bit of a mouthful and a brainful, yet it seems to give some idea as to the dialogue I'm setting forth. My presentation explaining abstract conceptions of a subjective world view may seem choppy or without rationale to some, but hopefully these words can arrange themselves into the proper pictures in your head to realize something new and more expansive in your experiences. Frequency seems to be thrown around often in the spiral ritual, and Onironot communities. I think it needs to be more adequately defined, especially to aid in assisting people to becoming more lucid in their dreams, have OBEs, and essentially have a more direct communication with actuality, meaning their actual living life here. What are the key items, things, thoughts, practices, etc. to having lucid dreams? This seems to stand out as the priority amongst people. Yet there is a disconnect to their waking life and their ascension on this plane of existence. The keys that we need to apply to the doors of perception and comprehension function in both worlds. And people who have the most difficult time having lucid dreams, OOBEs, astral projections, seem to dismiss waking life and see it only as a step to becoming lucid in their dream world. Therein lies the dilemma. One fuels the other, and certainly at advanced stages, there isn't much of a difference at all, if any. The practices in your waking life should be a bridge for involvement in the dream world. Experience is all there is, whether it is in waking life or the dream world. You can walk across that bridge in both directions. Sure, it's a blast to have the freedom to fly and have countless adventures you can't have here on Earth. But it isn't like here, buy this ticket and ride this ride, then wake up. Go back to your cycle frequency and try to buy another ticket for the evening adventure. Part of this idea sits in our perception of duality, day and night, male and female, etc. Yet, when you access a centered point, there are no edges, boundaries, or some polar, dual, bi-fueled world. Something as simple as realizing that black and white are colors, and when added to the 7 primary colors, we can see why the reality pushed in front of us is based on the 7 days, 7 colors, 7 chakras, when in actuality is based on something different. This here is a whole lesson in and of itself, and I'll happily delve deeper if anyone is interested, but the point here I'm trying to convey is that the time that we emit is based on an artificial architecture of time, something that is not organic. These are just parts of a cycle frequency that need to be examined. How time has been taught, or taught, T-A-U-T, to us. Surely the spellcasting has a major role in this. I will continue work on this in the next few hours for you. So that was the jump off point. We'll see where we can go from here. So if you guys, maybe I won't even read the next one if you guys have any questions, or maybe the next post will answer the questions. Let me see what's next. Oh, look at that. It says continuation on the last post. So apparently I'm reading this one. You get 2 posts right now. And it's called Cognition of the Last Post. Big post on lucidity. What is your frequency of urination? Do you sleep the same number of hours every night? What exactly are your cycles? Do you follow the sun, the moon, a certain calendar system? What about your diet or deity cycles? There are vibration cycles, frequencies, and absolutely everything, whether it is water, earth, metal, mental, driving habits, picking your nose, putting on deodorant. Even the scent of the deodorant has a specific frequency to it. When you start to examine all of these vibrations, frequencies, and cycles, even larger patterns are formed. The world is made of the word. I've covered this many times. Your involvement in it is regulated hyperdimensionally through your ideas and actions that make up circles or tires. See my earlier post on rites and churches. Maybe later I will just reiterate the tire rote, R-O-T-E, rote, W-R-O-T-E, rota, R-O-T-A, and the circus, church, circuit for you if anyone isn't familiar. And when you write, or R-I-T, or write, R-I-G-H-T, back for clarification. Spokes are in a wheel or tire, spoken rights. So these thoughts that are jumping around inside your skull are not even yours in most cases, yet they persist. Did you know that the most ancient languages, there are no words for maybe? Maybe seems like a giant key to Babel. Babylon, Bible, Babel. I'm getting a bit sidetracked here, but let me calibrate my position. To remain lucid and aware in your dream scope, you always must have a question that fuels your fire for an answer. In everyone's mind, normal reality checks occur. They're questioning reality, but how intense and sincere is their inquiry into reality, or better yet, actuality? If a few checks during the day seem like a few tokens in the pocket to ride the next dream roller coaster, then after standing that line to get to the coaster, you may wake up and find that you didn't remember the ride at all. Maybe you're so intently reading at this moment, or listening to my voice, you haven't questioned your reality. Are you dreaming right now? Is this a dream world? Can you do something different? Can you make a reality check right now? Sure, if you keep asking that question after each ride, you reach a higher rate of spin, centrifugal force. You may implode, but just maybe that is the point. However, if there is some type of distinct and reoccurring longing to understand your dreams, life, or insert a question here, then other realms of experience may open up. If you're in constant questioning or questing, then everything you participate in with has a different tone or texture and value to it. And just by simply switching into how you experience reality as an interaction rather than a reaction or response to it, you are able to see a vividness and glean inner pieces to remembering your whole. It's getting late, and I feel this is getting a slight bit murky, but then again, in deeper waters there seems to be less light, and until you become a light and beacon unto yourself. Do you use a dream journal? Do you use it just for dreams? Do you review your day in your mind? Sure, it is one thing to meander around in your mind at times past and live in reminiscence, reminiscing, which can be very helpful, valuable, and enjoyable. But are you using it to aid your spirit and not just support a mental cycle of living in time past? To become more lucid in your dreams involves becoming more lucid in your waking life. To be more lucid in your waking life might mean to change frequency, change habit, change clothes. Clothes, change direction. Change something, change anything. Maybe change your trash can location, rearrange your furniture. Any little thing, even your immediate environment, such as your coffee mug on your right hand side of your keyboard. Put it on the left hand side and use your left hand to drink. Makes you think, doesn't it? Thereby activating consciousness rather than recycling a mindless action that is set in your subconscious. This is a great place for a Zen koan about a wall that was built near a well that forced people to bend over to get the water to see a mountain. But you can Google that. I'm no Zen preacher. You can go about this from up, down, or inside to outside, no matter what. If you'd like to change your mind, change your habits and your actions. Or if you work the other way around, change your actions and then change your mind. Or just change the environment. If you want it in math terms, change a variable. And if you really get into it, then scrap the whole equation and start a new one of your own design. I suppose this will begin a dissemination of knowledge on centripetal and centrifugal spin quite soon. So there's a post on lucidity and whatnot. Let me see what else I got in my October posts for you guys. What's that, October 2013, is that right? Or is that 2012? 2013. It seems like just yesterday. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It seems like many lifetimes ago. No, that was all I wrote that month. So let's go to October. Let's go to November, see if I wrote anything in November. Cool. Okay, we'll stop there for a second and see if anybody has any questions or comments. And sorry for having my face all up in here because I can't. If I could use the other side of the camera, I could zoom out. I'm just unable to here. Maybe I'll try again. No, it doesn't work. All right. Yes, and this is my WordPress. It's then alchemist.wordpress. What up, Love Katesh? We're all method actors. Maybe not. I don't believe so at all. As there are many types of way of being. Acting is not acting, and acting is a type of being. Methodology is for the that's for the left brain people. And there are different types of acting, but this camera is so. Is it on your side, guys? I don't know how high the quality is, but over here I'm like, oh man, I think I gotta trim the mustache up a little bit. It's getting in the way. What's up, All Day Alchemy? What's up, Carson? How can you heal? This is how you heal your brain muscles. Oh man, yeah, the dream journal and the wake journal is very interesting. What you can do is use one page, one side, and then the back side. Use it like when you open it up. So front page is for your dream world, and the next page is for your waking life. So it kind of links up, so you can kind of see if it happened the next day. And if you've never looked into it, always try to use dates and even use different color pens and things and kind of highlight things. And when you do wake up from a dream, again, the most important things to do: don't move from your position. Don't move the water in your brain because that will mess up the memory. Try to stay there and try to breathe and get back as close as you can, and then find the end of the dream and try to walk backwards through the dream in your mind. And then, as soon as you feel comfortable holding on to bits and pieces of the dream and you wake and you open your eyes, you immediately load this environment and this reality, and that starts to immediately just fall away. So that's why you got to pick up the pen and just write down key ideas. And then after the key ideas, then you can kind of meditate on it again and get back through it and see if you can highlight more things within the dream. Well, thank you, Reykjavik. What's up, David Mannion? Yeah, it is. It is pretty sharp. It's pretty clean, man. And I'm surprising that I'm looking sharp on it because I haven't been doing the most healthy of activities. But oh man, how many people are pregnant right now? Love Katesh, you and Danny, and yeah, it's hunker down season. Get them babies get them babies in the furnace over the winter, huh? Oh, love, yeah, yeah. I think it was maybe a month ago or something. No, longer than that because I think she's even showing. I don't know. Yeah. Oh my God, she's gonna have twinsies same day probably. Yeah. That would be odd if you had your child on the same day. That'd be a weird one. 14 weeks. You might be right around the same time. I really think. Oh shit, Gemini babies. Go Gemini. Hey, feel free to share the day, the my birthday if you'd like. Oh no, then you'd have a little miniature me running around. Uh oh. Uh oh. No, no, yeah, the audio recording might actually be easier than writing things down because I write very sloppy. So just write just keywords and then play that back. And actually, that will keep if you can do that, then you can put keywords and you don't really have to focus too much, and you can kind of not really even get up and move too much, and you get back kind of without getting out of the delta theta. Well, I mean you're out of delta obviously, so you're in theta realm mostly, and then you don't want to breathe too much. You don't want to make too many. You start getting into alpha mode, and all of a sudden, all of that kind of destroys all of the imagery. 4th June, the 4th of June. Carson, another more Geminis. Is that a synchrona? I mean, I can sound extremely professional without writing. I just choose to speak the way that I do because that's the it depends on my audience, you know what I mean? I don't want an audience where if I put a suit and tie on and I put myself in the right body language and position, I'll speak differently. It even been studied that you can if you put somebody in certain clothes or in a doctor's uniform, they'll take IQ tests and actually be better at it just by changing their clothes. And I just find the way that I speak to be more fluid, but to speak at a professional high level, like yeah, it's more entertaining to. And even my writing though, that's from a long time ago. My writing, as you see my writing develop, it becomes more like my speech patterns, because my brain is moving so quickly. I'm trying to get many things down and try to speak in allegory at times, and then try to use linear constructs at times, and that's where my writing went to. I can't really write the same way I used to. I would if I wrote the way I used to write years and years ago, coming out of like technical college and writing for business and design and that kind of thing. I couldn't really do it that well now. It would break my brain because it's the logistics of a linear path. It's too much. I mean, I could if I had to, but I don't really enjoy it, so I wouldn't do it. You know. As yes, the air is a funny thing because we're over here, and then all of a sudden you gotta just over here. It's You can't capture it. Where's it go? It's like, where'd it go? Yeah, the wind element is an interesting one. Uh, so should I read another one? Let's see. We're about 20 minutes in here. It's cool to see everybody here. So I mean, now that you're on here, but I don't want to do what I used to do with the 3 hour videos. I'll do plenty of those. Don't worry. But being the middle of the day, and I kind of wanted to do like little chunks, so that way people that find this in the future, they're not like turned off by the fact that it's a 3 hour video. I mean, not that not that I really care if people are turned off by a 3 hour video, but it'd be more like piecemeal. Like, here's a little piece. So maybe I'll go for like 5 more minutes here if there's anything important, any questions. And if not, I'll come back on as soon as I feel motivated again to read some more. Because right now, oh no, it's kind of nice out. I might go outside for a little bit. Might go jump in the hot tub. I don't know. And I don't know. I need some sunshine, you know. Do you have any cooking? That's so funny you say that, Jake. When I got up, I was going to do a video cooking with Pan. I don't know if you remember when I was kind of screwing around with the idea of doing a cooking show, but I didn't really have a setup to do it, and not that I really do now, but I could kind of work with it. And I was gonna make breakfast this morning, and do a cooking show on it, but I just really did, it wasn't, the dog was kind of napping, and I was like, I don't want to wake the dog up right now, because she's gonna start smelling me cooking, and she's gonna come in there and be bugging me for food. I ain't got time for this. But I probably will do some cooking shows. Did I burp? Did I burp yet? Even see, people always like, how dare you burp? Even ginger beer that isn't even alcohol, still carbonated. Let me see if I can get one. Let me get a solid one here. This is too spicy though. I can't drink that much of it. Thank you, Jay Marley. If you can't handle me for 3 hours, you don't deserve me. That's right. That's right. You're right. But I did. But sometimes, the piecemeal thing is a nice introduction. It is funny that you say that, because whenever I meet somebody and hang out with them, like literally, if we vibe, like I don't know how many people that I could tell you, like hundreds of people that I'll meet them, and then we hang out for straight 3 days, 4 days, like it's like that. It's like we meet, like, what's up? No shit. And then all of a sudden, day turns to night, night turns into what are we doing today, and it just turns to 3 days of whatever. And then there's other people that, like, you have to have that soft introduction, like, okay, he's a lot to handle. It's like you just need a little piece. Just don't take the. It's like when you got a brownie, like no one, and somebody hasn't eaten a brownie before. Just take a little piece. Don't take the whole. Don't take the 10 strip. Don't take the whole 3.5 grams. Don't do that. Yeah, throw a bone at her. She don't eat. No, she has a whole different. She in her, as an eldered stateswoman, she's very her her desires for dietary things, her dietary habits. I gotta go trim that up. That's really bothering me. Um, she wants to, like, she wants what she wants. She don't fuck around. She's like, I want that food. Like, normally I could throw her something, she would just eat it. And now she'll like, I'll throw it to her, she'll like kind of dodge it and like, did you just throw that at me? And she'll go over and sniff it and be like, no, I don't want that. It's because she's always eaten well, and now she's like, I'm gonna be more picky. She's much more picky with her diet. I can't. She didn't even want bones. Certain bones she'll have, but I can't give her like dog bones. No, she don't want it. What food do I feed my dog? Um, it depends. Mainly, her diet for a staple of her diet is like mung beans and all sorts of Indian spices and whatever else I feel like putting in there. But then in addition, it's whatever I'm eating. So if I go out and eat at a restaurant, I'm gonna buy her something. Um, and then it just depends. But mainly it's that. And recently because I've been eating more meat, she's been eating more meat. Uh, yeah, and there's just some things that I know don't click with her so much anymore. Her diet has changed. My diet has changed. So we'll see. She had the big D the other day, the big diarrheas, And I was like, what the fuck did I feed her to give her that? So I was kind of looking through the couple items, and I think I figured out what it was. Gave her some hot soup from a Chinese restaurant, and it might have had some MSG in it, so I think it didn't work well with her. Well, thank you, Sin. What are you doing over there? Yeah, I know. Sometimes, we're humans, man. We're vultures. Gotta eat some meat sometimes. Just what it is. Well, Jay Marley, thanks, man. That's fucking awesome. All right, well, I'll turn this and I'll give you until 30. So if anything else, and then like I said, I'll do a couple piecemeals. And again, because this is my first couple lives back, and I don't really have much to say. I have a bunch of like half cooked, harebrained ideas of things that I wanted to talk about, and some specific topics, but they're not gonna fit into this video. So, what are you coughing on over there? Hmm. Hmm. No, not better. What up? What's up, Giants Tartary? Hmm. Yeah, and somebody was telling me I can cast onto my TV if I plug my phone in, so I don't have to be all up in the computer like this. I can kind of sit back, which would be much easier for me. Because I can't read the comments, they're just too far away. They're just slightly too small. So I could read them on my TV. I'll still sit back here. But here, it's pretty comfortable. So how exciting! I got my channel. I got a new phone. Got my channel back on. Cleaned up my house. I completely reorganized it. The only thing I'm not finished doing is my laundry. I really hate doing laundry. It's it's the worst thing in the world. But everything's in order. It's cozy. Got lots of new fun things. A couple new Buddha statues. It's rocking. Maybe. Oh man. Well, back to the digital realm, man. It's there are plenty of happy places. There's little spaces and energies and different areas that you can find. Jama, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I forget when you asked me about that or what I told you to do, but I'm glad that worked. That's awesome, man. Yeah. I think it was a couple, yeah. I recall it, but it was like I had a bunch of questions that day, and yeah, I was probably half loaded. What's up, Persevere? Yeah, for real, Synchron. Seek asylum in the online realm. Well, back in full force. What is up? What is up, Anonymous? What is good? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna go get another beverage. I guess if y'all here would chill for a second, because anybody that comes in the future, they can just watch the beginning of the video. This ain't gonna. We don't do anything too deep unless you got any like questions, whatever. I'll be right back. Okay, more beer. Different kind of natural brew outrageous ginger ale. Oh, it's a ginger ale. Not as good as ginger beer, but suitable. It's kind of hard to go from something so gingery to something less. That will work. We'll work with it. All right. Talk amongst yourselves. I have a message to. 1 second, please. 1 moment. Okay, what's up? I guess I'll do, because we're here. Let me see. I'll do one more reading. Just this will be for you guys, and if anybody else from the future decides to listen to the interment of me babbling. What do we got here? Let's go to March of. This might be good. Okay. It's called here you go. This is called an excellent post. This is from March in 2014. While considering cooking times for an egg, or rather sous vide times, I pondered. The theory on poaching eggs corroborated with the hot springs cooking method from Japan. The story is that the Japanese master would drop an egg in before going out for a jog and come back to a perfectly poached egg. This sounds wonderful, and of course, I had to string out the details and extend the thought. The idea is about time, distance, energy, and a few other variables. A master drops the eggs in the hot springs and goes for a run. If he is weak, he will return in quick. If he is weak, he will return in quick fashion. Time really isn't an issue for a run in actuality. Energy, power, and intention are. These eggs will be fine where they sit. Now, if the master could come back after a short time or distance, then those eggs would be gooey and the proteins more digestible. If the master is stronger or in a more meditative state, that requires his energy and contemplation. Maybe that run takes a little time, a little longer time or distance. The same expression whether he is thinking or walking or running. When he returns, the eggs are far more cooked, and the proteins have synthesized into something more bonded and structured. The eggs are different. If, however, the superior master is out for a stroll and he spends the entire day wandering and wondering and he comes back, that egg will be fully cooked and the digestion will occur differently. The strongest master will have the bowels bowed to digest the egg or ego during the night, sleep, and darkness. His own energy is fueling him. He is a dynamo during the light. The lesser master needs the energy from that egg. And when he returns to a gooey egg, he is able to assimilate and digest that egg in a quicker fashion, which translates into energy for his day. If the story hasn't been extrapolated in your mind in a myriad of directions, you are a gooey egg eating master. Continue your journey of eating those eggs, and soon you will not need to eat an egg. Strive to be the master that does not consume an egg during the day or night. So there you go. The eggs. The story of the eggs. What element is imagination? I don't believe it is. The imagination is the element, right? It's not. It's not. It's not another. It's the. I think it'd be etheric. I think it's the. I think it's the etheric plasmic nature of whatever binds the whole thing. I think that's where the imagination sits. It'd be closest to air, but it'd be etheric. I think air can be somewhat contained, somewhat. I mean, even if you contained air, outside of that air, what is it? What's if you could put air in a box? Could you breathe all of the air out, and you couldn't breathe in there? But there'd still be air on the outside. But plasma would penetrate all things. There's nowhere it wouldn't be. It would be in the brick. It would be in the. Is the plasma the substrate for? I think plasma is the substrate for imagination, and imagination is it probably funnels through air, water. Excuse me. There you go. How dare you say excuse me? Air, water, and then solids. And as always, fire is a transmutative plasma. So I think it's a fire is a an epicenter of plasmic force. How can you understand that? Well, if you ever sat around a fire with people, it's where people stare and look into the fire. The fire is a plasma, electromagnetic plasma vortex, basically. And you could use that fire to create things. Visions, in fact. So they use the fire to do that. And then what do we have today? We had a fire outside, and then we brought the fire into our house, and then we put a TV there, and the TV is the fire. I mean, you look at the Amazon app, isn't it called Fire? So it becomes a small little fire in your hand, a place of imagination. But it's become a black mirror of imagination, where, well, now it's a two-directional thing. Before, it was the television as a black mirror producing information from one source. So all of your information, if you were looking into the fire in nature, you could image anything. And you could have a bunch of people around there telling stories, and you could project a story into a fire to create shape. And everybody would see in that fire the story that whoever was speaking would produce. But you're all there as a community, so everyone could tell a story into the fire. It'd burn it off, but everybody would see it and they would image it. But then, as nobody sat around fires anymore, and they started giving you television, you couldn't speak back to it. You were getting it from one primary source, and they're telling you what the story is. Then, as the internet came along and people started using it, it became a white mirror and a black mirror. So they became more like an actual fire that would be, sit around the campfire and tell stories. And so it's become more like that. It's just that most people have lost their ability to tell stories because they've been so overrun by watching stories and observing that they're they're NPCs to a degree, trained to be that way. But as always, the tool that has bound us to be enslaved to it, that was supposed to free us, is now becoming more that tool. The phone, the computers, the internet, all of this, it has freed people from things, from meaningless, mundane tasks, and allowed people to communicate more broadly and freely. I mean, could you ever imagine speaking to somebody in another country? That's absurd. But yet, here we are. It's much like a fire. If a bunch of people had fires going at the same time and you were really keen on your shamanic work, you could probably use that fire as a portal, much like trees are portals. So you have more earth people that use trees as portals, use glass crystals. Crystals use the crystal grid. You have fires that I think use plasma. So there's the plasma. The plasma rays. Percy, that's funny. Mayan Jin was just posted something about magnesium today. Magnesium. Yeah, magnesium is very much connected to imagination. I think there's a connection there, obviously, because magnesium is one of the two nighttime elements. So in your blood, you have your intracellular and extracellular fluids, and they swap positions. There's basically supposed to be two major daytime cellular fluids, which are calcium and sodium, and they swap positions with the nighttime intracellular fluid, which would be potassium, which is in a banana, and magnesium, which is in chocolate. Chocolate-covered bananas, I think, are huge for a lot of reasons. Like eating that floods your body with magnesium or potassium, and that will allow an interchange of the densities within your extracellular and intracellular fluids, where most people don't have enough magnesium. Thus, most people don't have magic or imagination, and they can't dream. So that magnesium opens up an imagination to a dream world, and even to the nighttime. So one of the biggest things that if you look into it, people are magnesium deficient more than anything. I mean, what does that really cause? I mean, a lot of other physical ailments, but most certainly it's a blood ailment and a mental imagination ailment. Do you even burp? Hey, do you even burp, bro? Can you have fire without air? Depends on. See, depends on what you mean by air. Like, is air oxygen? Is oxygen in air? There's, I would dig into Pete and Peter's stuff on oxygen and air, and I think they might even do something on that talk right there. I can't dig into it that deep. I'm not that scientific. Like they do scientific, like, real deal studies on it. I do it more from a mental scape. Yeah, I had an interesting three months hiatus from doing lives, but it was, I mean, instead of doing live shows, I was going and doing weird shit out here. But that happens anyways. But what was the original Black Mirror used for? Well, so you have white and black mirrors. Like, I mean, watch the show. It's like a projection. I mean, what color is the TV when it's off? It's a black mirror. It's like a portal. Uh, persevere. Yes. Actually, the last couple, last few have been Sagittarius. Very weird. Like, very much the same. Same age, same type of. I mean, they're wildly different, but yeah, very, very interesting. I'm assuming that's what you're asking, Percy. Yeah, Pete and Peter is yeah, I know. That's what somebody else said. Did you say that to me the other night, or was that somebody else? Yeah, for real. Yeah, and really, what they're wildly like the. I mean, through my life, had a lot of girlfriends that are Sag, and it's always like top notch. Always good, always grand, always great, always like fucking spectacular. In fact. Yeah, and Pete and Peter stuff is so funny because if you're if you don't get that they're also doing kind of some humor, then you won't get it. Like it takes away for some. I can see some people will not like their channel and be like just dismiss it. Because the first couple times I seen, I was like, man, you guys are like screwing me up here. Like, are you taking the piss right now? Or are you like? And then as I'm listening to them more, I just realized that that's just the way they talk, and they're like that's how they bind. And so after I got used to the way they talked, it made a lot more sense, and the fact that they're also cracking jokes. Well, Carson, what sign? Wait, you're a Gemini too, right? Isn't that what we were saying earlier? I'm Carson. I forget. Didn't you say May 29th or something? So you're a Gemini. Oh yeah. Look up astrology dash something. I forget what. Like it should probably be one of the first two things that comes up on Google's. But look up compatibility between Gemini and Sag. It's like 99% on sexual intimacy, 90 on communication. Like it's one of the best matches. They're right across from us. It's like one of the best matches. Oh, and your moon is in Sagittarius, even better. So you that probably links up better for you, man. See, my sun and moon, I'm pretty sure are both. Like I know my sun is Gemini. I think my moon is Gemini too. Although it's hard, I don't know exactly when I was born, but when I put in where I feel like I was born, it ends up as Gemini. So, and it makes sense that I think my rising is also the scales. So I got a Gemini on one side, Gemini on the other for sun and moon, and scales in the middle, which I think is interesting. Could be wrong, but what's up, Juniperus? What's up, Junie? See if we can't get a see if we can't brew up a burp here for Junie. Oh man, nice. So Aquemini. So your sun and moon is outcast, and your rising is Libra. So you're bound. That's yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, Juniverse. I don't. You'd have to ask somebody else. Like even now, like I'm still not even near top of the food chain when it comes to knowing astrology like that. I know what I know about it. You know what I mean? I talk about it the way I do. I try not to get I try not to get too into it because I don't want to be one of those people that ends up going, oh well you're this and this, and then they pigeonhole people. Because I've met people that do that are excuse me. There you go. I said excuse me again too. How dare I say excuse me? um, did they know astrology so well they end up pigeonholing people? They're like, well, that's what you are, and I'm like, that's not really how astrology works. Astrology is much akin to Myers Briggs, where once you know what the astrology is, you work your way out of those energies, or you balance them, or you do something. So you can't just be like, oh well, you're this, so that's what. Like, well, bitch, I know fucking astrology too, and I ain't like what you think. So how about that? How about that? That's I've had that conversation with people before, and they really tried to pigeonhole me or people, other people. I'm like, you're only hurting yourself because then you don't get to have an experience. Like now you know astrology, so you think you know everything. So that's why I don't go too deep into it. I mean, I see its value. It's and people that can read well are awesome. In fact, we were just talking about the Sagittarius. The girl I'm messing with now, she reads a little bit of tarot, but she knows astrology pretty well, and she plays with magic. The other girl I was dating, she also plays with magic, does not read tarot, and knows a little bit about astrology. Very, very, very similar. And this one also too on top of it, she's like, um, she's graduated like psych major. I guess, yeah. She's she's a handful of mental prowess. um, a good source for looking into the signs, not to get, man, that's tough. I just like to have a good overall view of them. So like I would just go to a couple different pages and see what I seen. Maybe ask somebody that isn't a pro at it but knows it. I think people that have become professionals at it, as I was just saying, become too, it's like somebody that works on a Ford thinks they know everything about cars, but could they like if they needed to fix something, would they know they could take some aluminum foil and blah 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 and do this, and then do they need that part? Is that the right one? Can they? What if I had a Chevy? Do they know where that? That's always that's the dilemma with professionals. They don't know the broad range of things. So I would never go to a professional to ask. Juniperus. Well, you know what? Because I haven't, because it's been a while, and because we don't. I don't normally stick to conventions, but here, let me see what I got over here. All right, I'll drink something with you. What do we got? I got some whiskey. I'm gonna do it out of my fancy new shot glasses from Mexico City. I don't know if it's what would the word be? Did I drink Can I drink whiskey? Good whiskey too. Suntory. Really good whiskey, Japanese whiskey. Is this what would you call it if I pour this in here? There's a word for it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Would it be frowned upon? That's the word I'm looking for, but it's a good word. So hey, cheers to shot of whiskey. It's not too bad. It's smooth too. And I don't do full shots. No way. Can't can't do that. I gotta sip on it. I mean, I don't mind burping on camera. I don't think you guys want to see me upchuck on camera. That's so funny. I just got some new audio software. Maybe I'll sample me burping and put it on my next song. Although it kind of sucks. My new camera. Does anybody in here have any? Is anybody here technically inclined, like with digital devices and computers and shit? Because I just got a new phone. It's the same phone as I have, but it's the new model. And I have some software that I use to make music, but this new software is giving me, or this new phone is giving me some problems uploading, and it's giving me the same, like, permission denied due to some sort of whatever code. And I'm looking it up, and all I'm getting is like back end, how to clean it up on the back end, and I can't get in my phone like that. I I need to either close something or turn this thing off or download software, and I just don't know what to do. So if anybody knows, if I can help a dude out, yeah, and yeah, there you go. Oh, so yeah, so June. Oh, so there's your answer. Ask Junie. Junie knows the degrees into deacons. So yeah, you were telling me that a while ago, and that seems really interesting. But if you know to do that, you'd have to know like full on exact time and place of a birth chart, right? Right, Junie? Or else you wouldn't be able to place the deacons. The deacons in the church aren't those the ones that wear red? Was it Bloods? Oh yeah, Junie. I know you don't. I know like because you. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying there are many that do, that miss the idea of what astrology is used for. Percy, it's very funny. That as long as she doesn't sound like a trucker on meth. No, she sounds like um she's ghetto. Like she's from she's ghetto from New Orleans, you know. So there's no mistaking she's got another side. But she goes to school for psychology. She went to school for psychology, and she's a she's an actress and a model. So fucking, I didn't I luck out. Psychology and acting and model. Wow, that's crazy. This is not an egg cup. What the hell are you talking about? This is a shot glass, homie. What you talking about? I'll even show you. This is not a. That's not a shot. It's not an egg cup. I can prove it. I can prove it's not. Plate. Boot. Boot with the salt. Two shot glasses. And my little crystal skull. It's not egg cup. What are you talking about? I mean, it could be. I could have. I mean, it could. It could have multiple uses, I suppose. You can just put eggs in here. You just put crack an egg in here. Cheers, queers. I okay, fine. It's an egg cup. I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm gonna drink out of it. If I want to drink out of my hands or a shoe or a boot, I'll do it. I did have eggs for breakfast though. I had the most amazing breakfast sandwich. It was I took bacon and I instead of putting it on the stove, I put it in the oven on a rack, so it's nice and crispy and not oily. And then made I took one egg and I have like an egg. It's like the shape like a bread, so I put it inside so it comes out like the shape of the bread. So I put one scrambled egg in and one unscrambled egg, so it got cooked. But then I had a yolk in the middle, so it was scrambled with the yolk in the middle. And then I took tomatoes that I sliced, and I used some of the drippings from the bacon fat and put that in the pan, and then just sliced the tomatoes and left them in the and fried them for a second, so get them nice and sweet on one side, and then the best part, I got some mozzarella and yes, it was fabulous, and some multi-grain toast. It was awesome. Fabulous. Mike Olson. Yeah, yeah. I mean, as an air sign myself, I find that whenever I take in heavier elements, I always feel more grounded too. What I mean, you can just use the standard potatoes and that type of thing. Um, I I don't mind using meats. Like I'm not. I've accepted I'm never going to be like, after doing long fasts and doing the vegetarian thing for many years. It didn't make me a better person. Didn't change the world. Like I'm not me by myself is not causing uh, global warming. If that people still believe in that dumb shit, and I'm not like I'm out there murdering millions of animals. I can't really do shit about that. What am I gonna do? And protest them, see if they give a fuck. So yeah, the grounding things, the elements of the meat, the eggs. I mean, I've never had a problem with eggs, even as a vegetarian, even when I was really like, you know, push that idea to people. And I still think it's probably the healthier way to go. I think it's a better way to go than eating meat products. But yeah, the grounding element of potatoes, starches, tubers, anything that you get on the ground, those would be very helpful. And eating things that are cooked is helpful too. Oh, she got. Be careful. She got game. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. I mean, she's also my junior by quite a bit. I mean, both the last one was too. This one is too. Um, but yeah, it's and she knows it too, and then which is the funny part. Like she just, I was like, because she was wearing like a hoodie and like kind of like dressed down. I was like, do you ever dress up to go out? And she's like, no. I was like, really, never. I was like, what if I dress up? Will you dress up with me to go out? Because like it's like because she used to not like attention, and because like when she goes and models and shit, and I was like, but you model and act, so you get all this attention, but then she wants to be introverted the rest of the time. Very similar to my personality, I guess. But she does got game. But anybody being around me, yeah, that's only gonna take you so far. I dropped out of school because of recess. I don't play games. Yeah, some Jay Marley, this is correct. With a twinkle in my eye, or fire, it doesn't. Sometimes just with a, and when I met her, it was very different. It was very interesting. Like we both made eye contact, and we were like, "Whoa!" And we both were like, it's like, do we know each other from like somewhere else or something? It was pretty interesting. It's only happened to me a couple of times, and this was very intense. I was also blowed out my mind with on mezcal and yeah, it was funny because we were both we were kind of towed up on a weird night a couple weeks ago, and like she gave me her number or whatever, and I called her, but I called the wrong number because she was drunk, high, whatever, and so I couldn't read her handwriting, and so I called her like a couple days later. I was like, man, this bitch ain't call me back. What the fuck? Like, why would you give me your number? What kind of stupid shit is this? A couple days later, a couple days go by, still didn't call me back. I said, okay, one last time I'll try. What's up? And, no call back. I, I grabbed the fucking, because luckily she wrote it down, and then I put it in my phone. So I grabbed the paper and I went to throw it out, and I was like, let me just see if I put the number in right. And I was like, that might not be that number. Maybe I got that number wrong. So I tried the other one, and boom, it worked. And here I am today, happy as a clam. Yeah, what are they called? What's the wrestler guys called? There's a name for him because when Ami got back from Mexico and she gave it to me, she's like, "These are the Mexican wrestler guys," and yeah, even though he might be an egg holder, even I don't think you think that can really hold an egg. Like that would fall right off of there, man. What it would be for? You just you put a whole egg in there. Seems like enough for a shot. Actually, it seems like a lot of a shot. Because I remember I filled it to the top before, and I was like, man, what is it? How much is this? Ah, there we go. Got that whiskey down. I wasn't even gonna drink today. Yeah. Jim and Awake, what's up? Yeah, the Zen life. Tis different. Yeah, I seen Jim and Hot. That concert was awesome, huh? The concert was bonkers. The music sounded really awesome. The what's the name of him again? I haven't looked him up yet, man. Give me the name. It was you said it was the Black Magic Band. You said it's called something something Fist. Fist Cho Mama. Oh, Starburst are nice. Yeah. Pickled cat eggs. Mmm. Pickled cat eggs. I'm trying to consider that. Hmm. I pickled eggs. I like yeah, pink pickled eggs are pretty good, man. Can't really go wrong. Like whenever you go to like one of those little bodegas and they got like the jar there with like the it's like they've been sitting there for years, you're like, I'll have one of those. It is quite sharp, isn't it? And don't worry, once I start getting myself in, now that I can see myself on here better, I'm like, all right, I gotta clean up a little bit, and I get that line a little sharper, and I gotta get a little more suntan and do a little more, get a little massage, wake up. I'm not gonna be able to just get up here. I'm not gonna be able to get on here at the butt crack of dawn when I wake up anymore, because I'll be looking like you'll be able to see every booger hanging out my eyeball. I won't be able to pick my nose on camera anymore. I won't be able to burp anymore. That is a booger. Oh wait, I probably still will. Luchadore, thank you. I know Unston. I know Unston would know this. The Luchadores, yes. Yeah, I figured you might have ingested some substances there. Oh man, see, why she have to come in here and have me drink a some whiskey right now? Now it tastes so good on my lips, and it's too early. Let me see, it's like 1 o'clock here. I got shit to do today, man. Oh, it's actually 3, so we're good. Ha 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 ha. Ain't that nice? I have a very magical cat. Yes, I know a few very magical cats too. All right, for whoever new has entered the room, I will have one last shot here. See, hardstyle is great, and there's so much music that is really great live that it just doesn't serve the same purpose, like sitting around listening to it, or even it has to be live. Like certain types of jazz have to be live. Certain types of like happy hardcore, anything like that. It doesn't serve its purpose if you don't get the whole feeling of the everything that's going on real time. Uh I remember going to oh I guess it was. Did anybody know Carl Cox? You know Carl Cox, that era. Um, who else? Trying to think of any of the other major, and just like based out on a like right next to the speaker, just like basically putting your head in the speaker. Yeah, and that was a yeah, Carl Cox in a room in Toronto with about, I don't know, to say there was 20 to 50,000 people. It was like the big Toronto Convention Center. Like it was room after room after room. There's probably like five main stages. It was crazy. Yeah, there was jungle music everywhere, yo. Hey, Charlie Balding, you have a cheap liver? What, you're just tore up, huh? What's up, Nigel Glimore? Carl Cox is badass, man. Yeah, yeah, he's one of the originals, man. I've never heard of it. What? I've never heard of it. I live in the state of ecstasy. What are you talking about? That was, man, shit. That was many years ago. I don't, and in fact, I probably even if I did, I don't remember. Like there was so many other things that could have been, that included. I don't know. I was just high on the music, man. I was just high on the music. What are my thoughts on it? It's great for. I mean, it's obviously been used in psychotherapy and assisting people in releasing traumas, emotions built up. Yeah, and to use it in an environment with dancing, like people are like, oh, that's crazy. Like, no, that's kids really literally like shaking off like past psychosomatic, traumatic, upbringings and shit. So it's, I mean, that's super healthy. Like, that's one of that's and because it's, I mean, most of it is synthesized, but you can make. I mean, it comes out of a what is it, sarsaparilla or sassafras? I always forget one of the two. But it's the oil of that. That's what it is. But then it becomes synthesized. And everything else goes. If you get that straight, that's the way to go. Yeah, it's good. That's good medicine right there. If you can find pure molecule, man, would I encourage the use of drugs? How dare you ask me such a dumb question? I don't think everything is a drug, or nothing is a drug. All of it's okay, or none of it's okay. I don't encourage anything. I just speak. You do what you want to do. Um, you know, to would you call weed a drug? Would you call alcohol a drug? Would you call any element a drug? And I ask these because I think they're very important questions. What I say there's only two differences. There's what you'd find naturally occurring in the environment, and then there's what needs to be synthetically improvised in a laboratory setting. And in that way, I don't like that. I don't like that in any way. Would I encourage natural substance use of, such as fruits and vegetables, and dare I say, um, mushrooms and whatnot? That's a vegetation of fungi. Yes, certainly. But to what degree? Under what circumstances? I mean, I don't know. There's certainly use for synthetically derived substances, such as if you go to a doctor and you really need something, because you're not going to be able to find the right plant in nature because you don't know where to get it. Yeah, but um, the amount that people should be using prescription something versus finding the natural analog analog and synthetic. That's the world. So analog versus synthetic. It's the the sound of a violin versus a digitally altered, sound. Not that there's anything wrong with digitally altered sound, but it becomes so stark. There's a starkness. Drugs, drugs versus plants is drugs force themselves upon you, where plants offer themselves to you. There's nothing you can do about when you take a drug, you can overdose most certainly, but most plants you can't really overdose on. You can't do too much of because your body will regulate it. Where drugs are just like, okay, we're doing this. So that's the slippery slope. Nobody really dies from, you know, eating too many plants. So hopefully that answers your question. Charlie Balding. Would you eat human excrement for 10 British pounds? Would you eat 10 British pounds for me to throw human excrement at you? What is REID? You've been reed? I don't know what that means. Marine grade birch ply. Yeah, I mean if you have a really big speaker, yeah, then you need something like that. Cuz MD like that's gonna still give a little give to it. Oh, Ben Reed. I don't know who that is. Yeah, there you go. Use versus abuse. Yeah, for certain. Thank you, Siphon. It's a sassafras root. Yeah. And you got to find fresh stuff because then if you find stuff that's been sitting around, the oil is already kind of, you've lost the oil. Now I got to look up Ben Reed. I'm going to look it up right now. That's so funny. Ah, Australian rules football league. Let me see. Is that one you're talking about? Or the actor? The first one I'm getting is the footballer. Am I right there? Although the picture that I'm seeing here, if it's that, looks more like Jim and Awake than it does like me. The bald headed dude? Am I missing something here? Maybe it's the actor. Maybe that's what you're saying. No, I don't look anything like Ben Reed, the actor. So maybe the footballer, maybe. Hey Charlie Balding, look like your breath is absolute booming, pal. Charlie Balding, thank you for being here. What's up, Canna Bear? Hey guys, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because I got things to do, and have you guys have been just a treat and a hoot today. It's good to see everybody. Hope y'all been well, enjoying your life, and I will talk to y'all soon. I got some things to do. Peace out, motherfuckers, and big up yourself.